Hello, welcome to the World's Weather Project. The World's Weather Project is a project that is inviting all scientists of the world, scientists that are capable and willing to participate in this project. In order to do such project, we are asking the Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Justin Trudeau, respectfully, to support the ideas and the scientists and the ecologists that have explained throughout the last 10 years, basically, that there's other ways to save the world and use resources and sources of power, of energy that have been here in the world for more than 100 years. We want to get back to Nikola Tesla, principles of high vortexes, high voltage vortexes. We want to use the technology developed by a Canadian scientist, John Hutchison, in 1974. We want to use the team of scientists of Dr. Stephen Greer. We want to use whatever scientists and economists, for example, from the Australian Institute of Development. We want to use the economics according to Dr. Vandana Shiva. We want to use the new policies that can be explained, that have been explained, for example, by Chris Hedges. We want to invite all the participants in the documentary, The Four Horsemen, that you can find in YouTube. We want to invite journalists and reporters, like, for example, the journalists and reporters that work, and many of the YouTube channels that you can find that are sincere and honest when it comes to the information that can save the world of tyranny, barbarism, fiat economies, fiat banking. We want to replace the economies and the world as it is by a scientific, a spiritual, of course, not religious, but spiritual, of course, in understanding with each other. For that matter, we want to ask you, Prime Minister, Mr. Justin Trudeau, please, to give us a piece of land. And in order for that land to develop, we're going to need some funds. We are welcoming the people in good faith that want to help us. Why not the people that have been laid off from the oil industry and gas industry? The idea is to create a community that is capable to sustain themselves, that is capable to show the world that we can make it out of what is, that is going to have their own banking system, community banking system, way different than the International Monetary Fund or the World Bank ideals, way different than the corporate just profit ideals, way out of the Wall Street programs. We want to create this community, and what better place than Canada? Canada has a lot of land, and our Prime Minister has demonstrated a hope that he's going to show in the UN meeting that what he's capable of by producing these kind of ideas and show to the world that we are capable, and to start this project in Canada. This community is going to be able to develop themselves. We're going to have our own cattle. We're going to produce our own groceries. We're going to produce our own housing, using materials according to biomimicry and many other sciences that are using recyclable materials and create beautiful houses, sustainable houses that can resist all kinds of weather. We're going to protect the water sources. Recirculation is basic. So, yes, you were asking, you were willing to know what is the World's Weather Project. This is it. Of course, there's going to be a lot of explanations in the next editions of this program. But I invite Dr. Stephen Greer, I invite economist Dr. Vandana Shiva to participate in this project, to contact me or the World's Weather Project in uxa371@gmail.com. So we can start developing this idea, which is a wonderful idea. People like us are like the pariahs of the world, just as it happened with the religious persecution and religious absolutism in the 16th and 15th century when Nicolas Copernico and René Descartes and many others had to run away from what was because they were persecuted. We are being persecuted. We are inviting also the whistleblowers to give us information, not to criticize or destroy anyone here. No prophets for no evils. But we want a peaceful developed community that we can create scientifically. And as crazy as it sounds, like Holland was the refuge place for these free thinkers, a new mind that gave birth to the science as we know it, thanks to Isaac Newton, thanks to Galileo Galilei, thanks to many others. Johannes Kepler, for example. They were considered dangerous. This movement might be considered dangerous for the corporate intelligence, by the corporate intelligence. Well, it's time to evolve, not devolve. Take a look to the election process in the United States, for example. Jill Stein is a politician that has very carefully and intelligent as an MD, as a medical doctor that she is, and she has got involved in politics. And I think it's the best answer for the United States right now. People like us deserve a place in this world, and we are looking for that place. So respectfully, we ask to Justin Trudeau, Mark Zuckerberg, Leonardo DiCaprio, and any philanthropists that want to cooperate with this project to develop that project. There's places in Canada where the majors are selling land for $10. If you pay a deposit of $900 or almost $1,000, like Delia, I believe is the name to this little town, is 128 people or something like that. And what a better place to start it, but if not Canada. Let's show the world Canada that we can make it, that we are very progressive, and that there's better economies, better energy sources than the ones we're used to, and they tell us that there's no other, and that have caused all the assassinations and killings and the results, invasions and terrorism that have come after 9/11. The result, what is happening in Syria, the massive migration of thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. Syrians belong to Syria. Iraqis belong to Iraq. That's what the Worldswell Project is going to show to the world, that we are capable in every country to develop this kind of civilization. If we want a new civilization, smarter, stronger, that is able to transcend all the economies and life as it is and exist, this is the chance. Why don't start it in Canada? If not now, when? So, yes, I invite all scientists to contact this email that I just mentioned, uxa371@gmail.com, and let's start this. Let's put our hands on the work. I hope you accompany us in the next edition of the Worldswell Project. Au revoir.